Hey crew, what's up?
This is the Train Together podcast. I'm Lana Parks.
And I'm Jack Faulkner.
We're best mates, parents, and experienced personal trainers based in Byron Bay, Australia.
We're your training buddies that will never let you down.
The Train Together podcast is here to help you feel good, move well, and do more of the stuff you love with simple and sustainable training that complements your lifestyle instead of taking over it.
No matter where you're at with your training journey, we will give you everything you need to be confident with your training and get strong for life.
With us in your ears, you'll know what to do, when to do it, and how to lift properly.
We're here to give you high quality guidance and do all the hard work so you can just show up, put your headphones in, and train hard.
But don't worry, there'll also be plenty of banter, shits, and giggles along the way.
The Train Together podcast.
It's a workout in your ears. We would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are recording today, the Arakwal people of the Bundjalung Nation. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past and present. The easiest way to track your session is via our Train Together app, where you get access to 3 full body weight sessions a week, in-depth video tutorials, track your workouts so you know what to lift each week, and can be a part of the Train Together community where you'll join amazing like-minded people that will help you to stay accountable and motivated. The link is in the description. If you want to pause to sign up, please do so. It'll only take a couple of minutes. Also, if at any point you would like to have a look at the in-depth videos of today's exercises, they are in the show notes. So if you need a bit of extra guidance, check them out.
Now, find a piece of cardio equipment, so that's your rower, your treadmill, your bike or something to sit on or walk on or run on and get your heart rate up whilst we run you through today's session. Welcome to episode 26.1 of the Train Together podcast. It's our first workout in your ears and we are so stoked to be here taking you through your session today. It is day 1 of week 1 in our current program and it's going to be nice and cruisy, okay? So the goal of today's session is going to be to find our 5 reps in reserve through our working sets, get comfortable and to nail the form, and just make sure that we're feeling really good about going in and lifting some more weight next week, okay? So if you need to pause, look at some video tutorials or do anything like that, feel free to do that where you need to, all right?
Yeah, that's it. We're just learning and nailing the basics today, guys. So take your time, make sure your form is on point, and then we can build over the next couple of weeks. How exciting.
I know, so exciting. Before we get into it, it's all
shits and giggles until someone giggles and shit. So this is a quick little segment where we're just going to chat about some good shit and some not so good shit that has happened this week. So something that's made us happy or made us laugh. I'm going to kick things off though. For me, I'm going to kind of combine my shit and giggle. I was having a little play with my son Henry today. We had a little airplane that the wings broke off, so it was a rocket ship instead. And we were doing little blasts off, just throwing it, launching it up in the sky out in the cul-de-sac. And I had it was my turn, 3, 2, 1, blast off. I threw it up in the air, but I also forgot I had my car key in my hand. As I let go, the car key went flying into the air with the rocket ship. And then I just heard this clink. It landed on the roof, into the gutter, on the roof of the house. So,
baby.
Yeah, I had to call Ryan and get him to climb up the ladder, get it out for me. It was funny, but it was also pretty shitty. So that's my shit and giggle.
You're pretty independent, and like when I hear you, oh, can you sort this out for me? It's always a surprise.
Well, if he's around, I'm gonna get him to do it.
I love it. Alrighty, so for me, my shit, I didn't get in the ocean this week, okay? I've been on the slog, just getting it done.
Bumble.
I know, I'm always happy when I've been in the ocean, but tomorrow I will, okay? It's definitely going to happen. So that was a bit shit, but the best part of my week was my anniversary, my day with Ez. We've been married for 6 years. My parents are here from the UK, and they had the babies, the 3 girls, for the morning. We went to the Banya, which is a beautiful bathhouse about half an hour from here. We got to just soak, chill, and then we had a really beautiful lunch at a restaurant called Harvest in the hinterland. And we walked in the door, and one of our old clients was there. Super bubbly, super happy, big hug, and looked after us, and we just had the most amazing meal. So would recommend, 10 out of 10.
So nice. Were you a child groom?
Child groom? Oh. Well, I got married at 22.
6 years, that's a long
I
time
know.
already. Crazy.
Not many people get married at 22 these days, do they?
No.
Wild.
No.
I missed something before when I talked about the goal for today's session. We didn't talk about reps in reserve in detail. So obviously 5 reps in reserve is what I said. And what that means is at the end of your set, you're going to ask yourself how many more reps could you do, okay? So if you got to the end and you're like, okay, if I did 4 more, I couldn't stand up again from my squat, that's 4 reps in reserve. Also, it might be I did 3 more chest press and I would have started to twist and skew off the bench, then that's 3 reps from technical failure. So either or count and you'll be writing those in. And it's a little bit hard with the high reps and early on in the program to gauge that, but you'll get better at it as a skill. And as the reps in reserve come down through the program and we work harder, then it'll be easier to do as well. So just give it a nudge and try it out, and then you'll get better at it as you go.
Good stuff. All right, enough time on that cardio equipment, guys. Let's hop off and we are going to have a little chat through the session today, all right? So we want you to start making your way to a bit of space where you can warm up. And as you do so, Jack is going to chat through what exercises we have coming up today, all right?
Cool.
So big sesh, but what do we got?
Big sesh, but light. We're all about the form today. So make your way to your space, and as you're doing that, I'm going to run through. You've got your barbell, low bar back squat. To kick us off, it's a squat where we bend the knee, hinge over a lot, send the bum back, and get lots of glutes. We're going to be doing 6 to 9 reps there for 4 sets today. And you've got an option for a goblet squat where we hold the weight just in front of the body if you are not comfortable with a barbell or it's your first time squatting. And then into a shoulder press, and we're going to do a single, double. Look, disclaimer, Lana will probably get it wrong at least twice, so just take it with a pinch of salt when we get there, but it's a real good burn on the shoulders and the triceps. From that, we're going to go to our cable seated row, and we're going to use a straight bar, the cable, and we're going to work all those back muscles with the bicep. And then into 2 supersets to finish. We've got a front of the body, back of the body, antagonistic pair, push up into your bent over reverse fly. So they're going to be really good, a little bit faster, a little bit less rest, and get your heart rate right up. And finishing off with a lower and upper superset of your cable kickback and cable bicep curl. We will give you all of the reps that you're going to do when you get there. And just a quick go over, for the shoulder press, it's going to be 3 sets today, building through all of them. Seated row, the same 3 sets, and then just 2 sets of each of the supersets. All right.
Nice. All right, guys, you don't need to memorize all that now. We'll be chatting you through it as we go as well, but we're going to get warm. So you need a mat here, or look, the mat's optional. If you just want to roll on the floor, that's sweet as well. But we will be using a resistance band as well. So have a light resistance band ready to use, guys, for our warm up as well.
Yeah, and if you need to grab a heavier one, pause us, run over, get it done. You can pause us whenever you want. That's the beauty of this, okay? Kicking us off, what are we doing with the warm-up?
All right, we're getting warm, guys. So we are going to come down onto the floor. We're in a kneeling position here on our hands and knees, and we're doing the greatest stretch in the world. We call it the greatest stretch because it gets everywhere. It's a nice open up through the hips, the back, the spine. So from all fours, we're going to take one leg up and out side of our hands here. Then that hand that is closest to our leg that is in front, or foot in front, is going to go behind our ear. So the fingertips behind ears, we open up and rotate towards that front leg, and then drop the elbow down towards the hand that is on the floor, all right? So opening up and then rotating, dropping down. So in this lunge position, if you feel good and comfy there as you're rotating, feel free to lift your back knee off the floor so you're in a full lunge, pushing through that back toe as we rotate, open and close. Swapping sides here, so bringing that other leg up and around, fingertip behind ear, so that hand that was closest to that front foot. We open, elbow is bent, drop down towards the floor.
Oh, I just got a mad click.
Oh,
It felt good. No, it felt good.
Such a good stretch, this one, guys. If it feels good in the bottom or that open top position, feel free to hang there for a second, all right? Feel that nice big stretch.
Man, I feel like these go on forever. So when I'm doing them, like, it feels like a workout itself.
Right, I know. All right, some cat and cows here. So back to all fours. We are going to arch our back here and round, all right? So we're just pushing chest towards floor, looking up at the ceiling, keeping elbows extended, Hands are right underneath shoulders and just going through that arch and rounding back and forth, bit of movement through the spine.
Yeah, I love to squeeze my butt cheeks at that top
Yeah,
position, give that extra drive and
full
feel everything
stretch.
moving. Cool. And then from there, we're going to go into our bird dogs.
All right, off we go. So bird dogs is a core stabilizing exercise. We're still on all fours here, guys. What we're going to do is extend opposite arm to leg out. So we're lengthening out and just balancing on the opposite hand and knee. We're going to control back in, little tap, and then extend back up and out. So we'll do 2 to 3 reps on one side and then swap over, or you can alternate, whatever floats your boat. But the aim of the game here, guys, is just to keep that core torso nice and stable. So imagine your back is a table, or you have a full
Margarita,
I was going to say schooner of Stonewall Pacific Ale, resting on your tailbone, all right? Okay, coming into our, what do we got next? I forget.
Coming into our eccentric push-ups next.
All right, eccentric push-ups. We're going to go up onto our toes here into a full plank position. Shoulders are over our wrists. We're going to let our elbows go 45 degrees. Chest comes in between hands as slow as you can down. Rest at the bottom and rolling up. If it's too much, guys, on your toes, you can drop down to your knees. So we're just doing the lowering phase of the push-up, rolling up and repeat. We're going to go through 2 more here, keeping that core engaged as slow as you can. Rest at the bottom, roll on up, and last one, control down.
Cool, and then finish at the bottom there for me, okay? So make sure that you have your body nice and flat, forehead is going to be down on the floor too, and then fingertips are up and interlocked behind the back of the head. All you can do is tap the elbows on the floor and then lift them up as high as you can. That should bring your shoulder blades together. And you're just going to go through nice high reps here. So it's going to be 10 to 15, just pulse them out, and you should start to feel it up around the upper back. So do a couple more for me, just pulsing, tap and lift, tap and lift. 2 more. And then you're going to roll onto your back, into your glute bridge. So rolling onto your back, you're going to be nice and flat. Slide your heels up towards your bum. It should be about 20 to 30 centimeters away. And then you're going to keep your upper back on the floor as you scoop your hips up and off into a nice big straight line from your shoulders to your hips and then to the knees. So scoop and squeeze those butt cheeks on. Make sure you don't lift and arch that back at the top. If you struggle with this and you're getting a big arch, think about peeling 1 vertebra off the floor at a time. So you're scooping up, clenching the butt cheeks and back down. 1 more will do the job. And then we're going to stand up and grab your resistance band. So with your resistance band, we're going to go into the banded dislocations. So with this, grab nice and wide to start, probably with your lighter band. You're just going to come up and over the head, bring the band behind the back down to the bum, and then back over, close to the head, and then over to the front again. You're just going to do loads of those, repeating. If it's a little bit easy, bring your hands closer together on the band and it'll make it more challenging. If that's still too easy, you can grab a thicker band and do it, and it will let you go tighter or let you work harder as you go over the back of the head there. Okay, 2 more of those, and then we're going to finish off with some no monies, and you will definitely need a light band to do these. So it's going to work the external rotations of the shoulder. You're going to start with your hands out in front of you, facing each other, and your elbows tucked in, so our elbows are at 90 degrees. Elbows touch our sides the whole time. We just give a thumbs up and then squeeze that band down in between our thumb and index finger. Pull the band apart, turn your palms up to face the sky, and then control back down. All we are doing is rotating the arm, twisting it in the same position to work those little muscles across the back of the shoulders. You probably won't feel it yet, but as we go through 5, 8, 10 reps, we will start to feel a burn in the back of the shoulder. And the reason we're doing this one is to stabilize the shoulder whilst we do those overhead presses, the single, double that we're doing in our exercise B today. All right, 1 or 2 more of those. You're probably screaming at me, shut up. All right, I'm done. Pop that one away. And we are going to make our way to our squats. Let's go. First workout. We're going to do it, okay? So make your ways, if you're going to do a goblet squat, to your dumbbell rack. And if you're doing your low bar back squat with us, you're going to make your way to your squat rack or the rig. You're going to put your J hooks up at about shoulder height or just below one. And then get a barbell up across there. And we'll see you there. All right, we are here ready to do our squats, our low bar squats where we have a big hinge. If you are using a dumbbell, you're just going to follow the same cues, but with the dumbbell in front of the body, and you can hold it really close on your palms or across your neck like a bow tie and squeeze it in tight to the body there. Either option is good. So before we go with the barbell or the dumbbell, we're going to do our bodyweight reps. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. If you need some more details, you can go to the in-depth video tutorial, which is going to be on your phone in the Train Together app or in the show notes. Okay, we're giving you these ones for free. Aren't we so nice?
So nice.
Cool. So before we go into those though, we're going to start with some bodyweight reps. And whilst I'm explaining this, you guys are going to be doing the reps and just making small tweaks as you hear me add little bits onto this, and it should level up to a nice looking squat by the end of it. So starting in your squat position, if you don't know where to find that, you can just do a big jump in the air and land flat. If you don't want to jump, it'll be just outside hip width with our toes ever so slightly out. And you will have to change this depending on your movement because everybody has different hip anatomy. So to kick us off with this, you've got your toes out and knees are ripping the floor apart. Start moving for me. I'm going to send the bum back and bend at the knee so we lean over and get a nice good stretch of the bum. You bring your hips down to about knee height and then drive back up. Don't go so low that you round over at the back, okay? And you want to think about ripping that floor apart the whole time. Okay, have a breather there whilst I talk through the ripping the floor apart because we'll take that into the bar when we do it. With the ripping the floor apart, you want to think about being stood on two big sheets of toilet paper and you've got that zippered line between your feet. So imagine you're doing it now, you're sitting on those two big sheets of toilet paper and you're going to be ripping that floor apart and you're going to try and rip that zippered line down between them. If you put your hands on the bum as you do that, you should feel the outside of the butt cheeks kind of turn on a little bit and you should feel really stable through the knee. All right. We're going to go to the bar now or to your dumbbell if you're doing the goblet squat. So with the goblet squat, the option to hold, like I said, close to the body, either bow tie or vertical. And if you're to the bar now, you're going to go up to that bar and just grab in a comfortable width. When we are doing the lift, you want your hands as close as your shoulder mobility allows you. The bar is going to end up sat on your rear delt, so the juicy little pockets that are at the back of the shoulder when you squeeze your shoulder blades together. A couple of my clients say squeeze the back fat, so if that, whatever works for you in your head to get that little shelf there, do it. 1 foot in and under the bar. Wedge yourself in under that bar so the head comes right in the middle and you're on those juicy little pockets that I talked about. It should be a little bit lower and just about your armpit height or just above the armpit. From there, wedge yourself in against it, bring the other foot in to join, and then stand up with that bar on the back. Take 2 small steps back, 1, 2, and then settle. You shouldn't be a million miles away. Big breath in and brace. Hold the dumbbell tight if you're holding a dumbbell. You're going to send your bum back, rip that floor apart, and lean over a tiny bit. Drive back up to the top position, and just keep on doing your reps now as I talk you through. So we're going to end up with about 9 reps, okay? Big breath in, fill the tank. Squeeze that back on so we've got that shelf the whole time. Sit down, rip the floor apart and drive back up. At the top, you will not be able to stand the whole way up in this position, so you're going to about 95% of full extension. You shouldn't bring your hips under you and round the back at the top, okay? You want to be nice and neutral through the spine in this whole lift. 2 more down and up. 1 more. And then re-rack that bar by walking in, making a good bang, and sliding it back down, okay? You really want to be stable there. No guessing, no twisting with a heavy weight on your back. Fucking nailed it, guys.
Nice, guys. So that might have felt a little bit awkward initially. It's not supposed to be perfect, okay? That's the aim right now. We're making those tweaks. We're just taking our time to get into it. So now that I have completed my first effort, I'm going to track it, okay? So I'm going to stay on top of my progress. So in the Train Together app, I've selected Start Workout. I'm clicking on Low Bar Back Squat because that is what we are in. And I'm going to put how much weight I just used. So whatever your bar is or whatever your dumbbell is in your gym, pop in how much weight you used. We're popping in how many reps we completed. And I want you to have a think about how many more reps you think you could do, okay? So look, if that was easy, if it felt like a piece of cake, 10 plus reps, we might have to put a little bit more on. What do you reckon, Jack?
I reckon you chuck the 5s on, L-Dog.
Yeah, we'll put a little bit more weight on that bar if you need. Yeah.
If you need, yeah, you don't always have to add it. It's all about the form in this first week. Lana just wanted me to pick her weights up and put them on her bar for her whilst I was doing mine. So you're hearing me do it now. Oh, I like that noise. Okay, so pop your weights on the bar. If we're moving too fast, just pause and get ready, and then we'll be ready to go. We're going to move straight into it now. So going into 3 more sets from here, we're going to have a timer on the screen, and it's going to be 2.5 minutes today. So you're going to do 2.5 minute timer. You're going to do 6 to 9 reps, ideally 9, with about building towards 5 in the tank. It'll probably be more than that today though on this first one. Alrighty, so a bit of talking. We're going to get into that setup again. Walk up to that bar or grab your dumbbell and pull it tight. Grab just outside shoulder width or as close as your shoulder mobility allows you. 1 foot in and under that bar. We're going to wedge our rear delt, so those juicy muscles at the back of the shoulder, up against that bar. Other foot comes under, stand tall, and step back, 1, 2. Alrighty, into your reps now. I'm starting this timer. You're going to go back tight, ribs down, big breath in and brace. Squat down, send the hips back, and lean over. Don't go too low with this one, okay? The focus is on those glutes, so we're trying to get that stretch as our hips get to about knee height, and stand tall on every rep. With that, guys, you know what? I probably shouldn't have said that. Don't stand tall on every rep. Get nice and high to your top position, but don't tuck the hips forwards. Breathe in and feel the tank, ripping that floor apart. Breathe out on the way up. Nice. When you get to about 9, which for Lana is this last one, you're going to walk in, pop that bar back, or pop your dumbbell down, and then you're going to go to your phone.
And we're going to track.
You.
All right, guys, so really important we do track, okay? Grab that phone out, pop in how much weight, how many reps you did, because when we get to next week, we're gonna improve on it, all right? So
sorry, plate noise. Oh, you'll hear me just put my weights on.
That's all right. Jackie boy is loading up here. I'm puffed already. Are you guys puffed already?
You guys going to hear us puff so
what?
many times. How's that tracking going?
Yeah,
do you like that app?
We've got our weight in, we've got our reps, how many reps in reserve. I'm going to stay on that weight today, all right? I want somewhere to be able to progress over the week, so I'll stay on that weight. We've still got 2 more sets to go. Woo! How are we feeling? A minute left on the timer, okay? So you got plenty of time, sips of water in between. Guys, you might initially feel a little bit awkward with that rest time, but as we progress over those weeks, as we increase the intensity, we really need that rest in order to allow those working muscles to recover, get the gas back in the tank so we can go back into that next set with 100% effort, yeah?
Cool. 30 seconds until we're back on for our second working set, okay? Third set of the day total. And look, we should be getting close to 5 reps in reserve on this set. So you should be starting to feel it. If you get to 9 reps at the end and you're really unsure and you want to do a couple more just to see what's there, do it, you know, and it will give you a guide of what you need to do next.
It's hard to find those reps in reserve initially, I feel, so...
We could talk and talk. I reckon we should get ready because the time is coming on in 8 seconds.
Radio.
Alrighty. Hands on the bar, in and wedge against those rear delts or pull that dumbbell close to us. From there, other foot comes under, stand tall, back, 1, 2, settle. All right, back tight, ribs down, big breath in and brace. Sit down and rip the floor apart. Stand up, breathe out. Perfect.
Thank you.
Not you. All right, knees point where the toes are pointing. Hips come down to about knee height, don't round the back. If you're doing a goblet squat, really squeeze those elbows in. Big breath in. Stand up, breathe out. Good. Stay focused on these last reps. When you finish, walk in and bang. Slide down. And before Lana takes you through the tracking, if you haven't signed up to the app, use a pen and paper. Okay, you're doing yourself a misjustice if you're not tracking, and you're going to get more out of it and know what to do every week and be able to progress properly and get the results you want if you track properly.
Yeah. Progressively overloading is what we're doing here.
Oh, the jargon.
All right, this is me popping in. That was my, what am I at? Let's have a look, my second working set. So I still got 1 more to go. I reckon I could probably go up. I've got more than 5 reps in the tank there. So I'm going to put a little bit more weight in the bar. So if that is you doing that too, let's get that done. We've got a minute left on the clock.
That's me, sorry.
Jack's making a racket over there while he's finishing off, but make sure you pop that third set in the tank there. We've got one more set to go.
Cool. So make sure this last set is hard enough. In order to build muscle, get stronger, and get results in the gym, we need to be working within 5 reps of failure. Plate noise. Okay, and Lana's going to make some more noise while she loads up the bar. But we need to be within 5 reps of failure, and that means we need to be from 5 reps of not being able to stand up with the weight or our form going, and that's going to make sure that we are working hard enough to get the gains.
Yeah.
20 seconds till we're back on. All right. Compose yourself. Think about your form.
All right. Let's do it, guys. I'm pumped. Last set. So after this, when we finish, we're going to pack away our bar and head over to some
Lana's
dumbbells.
just trying to distract. She wants some extra rest out of this.
I asked the question right before the buzzer goes off.
Yeah, exactly. All right, there's our timer. So get wedged in against those rear delts. Back tight. Good. Drive up hard with both feet. 1, 2, settle. Okay, back tight, ribs down. Big breath in and brace. Sit back, rip the floor apart. Drive up hard. In minimal cues in this set, you should be dialed in. Think about what works for you. Good. Nice. Control the descent. We don't want to see you bouncing at the bottom. Don't lose the tension in the back. Nice. Fill that tank with air. Sit down, rip the floor apart, drive up hard. Fuck yes. We should be at about 9 reps now if you're counting. And make sure that you track the amount that you did. Lana's going to run you through those as I get into mine. I'm going to make a little bit of plate noise as I chuck a little bit more on there.
Woo. All right, guys. Good work. You have done it. That is our squats ticked off. So let's pop that final set in. Really important you pop that final set in right now, because then we are going to plate noise.
Can't get them on. Can't find the hole.
So we are going to track in that final set here, how much weight you did, how many reps you did, and how many more you think you had in the tank. From here, when you're in that little tracking zone, I just want you to click on the name of the exercise, low bar back squat. That is going to bring up a little section where we can pop in our notes and comments, and we're going to write down what we're going to do for next week. So we're kind of planning ahead here. So when we come into next week's session, we're just good to go. So Jack, what are we going to do next week?
Next week for these bad boys, we're going to do 2 warm-up sets. Okay, it'll probably be plus a bodyweight set. You might just do 2, including the bodyweight set, depending on your current weight. And then we'll do 3 working sets. So your working set is what we put in first, and that's going to be the heaviest weight that you lifted today, unless it was too easy. Okay, so put the weight that you're going to lift and then work backwards from there. You're going to do 2 warm-up sets. So you can choose, you might be the bar and then say 30 kilos, and then you're going to go to 40 as you're working, for example. Get some nice even jumps to get you there. The first warm-up set is going to be 8 reps. Second warm-up set is going to be 5 reps, but I'll remind you about that when we get there. When you've done that,
click done, and then we're going to go over to our shoulder press. So pack up your barbells, guys, or pop that heavy dumbbell away that you use for your goblet squat. And you can pause us here while we make our way over to our shoulder press. All right, guys, exercise B, we are doing our dumbbell standing single, double shoulder press. So I want you to grab a set of light dumbbells, whatever you consider to be light. We're gonna start light because then we've got room to build. These get spicy, so we wanna make sure our form is spot on first before we load up. So setting up for this exercise, guys, we're gonna take those dumbbells in our hands and we're gonna press up overhead, all right? So we've got a nice straight line from our hands, elbows, shoulders, ribs, hips, feet are glued into the floor there, and we're tucking the hips under to keep our ribs down and core engaged. Now from here, we're going to go single, double. So left arm will come down in front of the body, keep the other arm extended up overhead, press that left hand back up. Then we're swapping sides to the right, single comes down, single drives up. Then we're going both together. So in front of the body, back up overhead. That is 1 rep. We're gonna go again, single, drive up, single, drive up, Both come down together, pressing back overhead, all right? Stay tight through your core and your body here as you go through those reps in your own time now. Single, drive to the top, come down, drive back up, both go together, all right? So we're going one side, the other side, and then both together. A couple of key points you're thinking about there, guys, is staying nice and stacked with those hands over your elbows, keeping shoulder blades tight.
How long do you think we're doing these for, mate? My shoulders are burning.
Hopefully you're finished by now, but I'm just chatting through a couple more
I was just going until you were going to stop talking. I'm like, my shoulders are burning.
We wanted 5 to 8 altogether, okay? So you're going to have to count those reps while we're chirping away in your ear as well. But you should be finished by now, and Jack's going to track with you while I get my set out.
Exactly. So first of all, a little tip. When you count these, okay, I count them 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. It just means I don't miss any and I don't go 1 and then kind of forget where I'm at when I get to the next double. All right, tracking these. So you're going to go into set 1, the amount of weight that you lifted, so the number that is on your dumbbells, not the total amount. Okay, and then you're going to go over to your reps, the amount that you did. I did 6 total. And then how many more you think you could do. And count that as rounds, okay? We might have RPE in there, and that is your rate of perceived exertion of how hard you thought it was out of 10. And that's probably a better way to gauge this. You want it to be about 6 or 7 out of 10 max today. And that was 10 would be failure. You couldn't do another single rep. The top arm was like buckling and failing, and you were really, really starting to burn up, okay? So RPE, work backwards from there. 5 was like just started to feel it a tiny bit. 6 or 7 would be ideal. All right, should we just cruise into the next set?
Yeah, we'll get straight into that next set, guys. So take your time here. Let's make sure we're reinforcing that form and everything is locked on nice and tight. We're thinking of elbow coming in front of the body and then the hand pressing back up overhead. Almost imagine that you've got little wine stems resting on your fists, okay? I don't know why I keep saying wine stems.
I don't even know what that is.
Like a wine glass, the stem glass, right? So it's going to stay upright. So if your elbows poke out to the side, they slip off. If your elbows tuck in too tight, they slip off, yeah? So knuckles to the roof the entire time. All right, let's get into it, Jack. Weights are going up. I'm going to chat you through this, guys. 5 to 8 reps. We're pressing up overhead. We're in that nice, solid, locked on line. One arm down, the other arm down, and then both go up together, okay? Down and up, next side down and up, both up together. Keeping that core engaged, guys. Breathe in, breathe out, wrap that core around. Good, working in our own time here. Stay strong, resist against any arching coming from your back. Ribs are down.
Good, keep that top arm locked out a little bit as well. All right, so make sure we don't let it start to bend now. Butt cheeks and abs are on the whole time. Keep those legs locked out. All right, that's me done. I did 7 that time. 7, 7, 7. Finish me off. All right, so grab your phone up with me here if you're finished. If not, you can jump in and catch us up. Lance is into hers. So set 2, the amount of weight you did, how many reps you did. I did 7, and then how many more, or out of 10, how hard it was. So that took me up to a 7 out of 10, and that's plenty hard enough for this week. If you are sticking at about 5 or a 4, definitely try going up there for this last set that we're going to have in about 45 seconds. And that should be our weight that we'll start on next week. Look, if they're burning like hell and you're like, can't even get the last one up, go down a little bit. It's not about pushing yourself to failure today. We're all about getting comfortable with the form. We want to be able to lift our arms above our head tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, exactly. That's the goal. It should be...
I mean, look, you're probably going to be sore if you haven't trained in a hot minute.
Yeah,
definitely
exactly.
Right.
You want to feel it a little bit.
But also, if you don't, then it's not the end of the world. Hey.
Jinx. Hey.
All right, Jack is getting back into his 3rd and final set. You're going to join him, guys. Let's get those weights up overhead. Butt cheeks and abs are on. Nice extended top elbows. We bend in front. 1, 1. Both go together. Jack's looking at me. He's got something to say.
No, I'm just saying, like, get us going. Tell us the move. Tell us the move.
3rd set, let's go. You guys know it by now. Single, single, double. You don't have to stay in time with Jack. Work in your own time. 1 down, 1
get the flow.
up.
Like,
the other down, the other up. Both go together.
Feels good when you find it until the burns come on. Oh.
Get into that rhythm. Lock it on. Squeeze those glutes. Brace that core. Keep breathing. Should almost be there, crew. Stay strong.
That was me. I got carried away. I did the 8 just because I was enjoying it too much. But yeah, the burn was real strong at the end. Okay, so Lana's going to jump in and do hers. You guys are going to come with me and fill out that tracking. If you are filling out your pen and paper, make sure you're still getting everything there. Your weight you lifted, how many you did, and how many more you thought you could do, / the RPE out of 10. So with this, guys, fill that in quickly for me. And then click on done. And then we're going to plan for next week. Okay, it's going to make our life a lot easier. And we won't remember everything that we did this week or the burn that we had. So it's good to plan it now. So for me, I'm going to do 1 warm-up set next week. Sorry, to find that, I just skipped a little bit. Press, dumbbell, standing, single, single, double, shoulder press. That will take you through to the details of the exercise. Press, add your own note. And then from there, I'm going to write in the working weight for next week, which is going to be, for me, 12.5 kilos. And then I'm going to work backwards from there, 3 to 5 kilos lighter, depending on how you're feeling. If you're doing like a 5 or less, probably do 1 or 2 kilos lighter for your warm-up. And we're just going to do 1 warm-up set next week and then into our 3 working. So write your warm-up, click done. Mine's taking a while to load, the Wi-Fi not working. And then go over to your next exercise, swipe over. You're going to be at your cable seated row, underhand, so make your way. What?
I'm just laughing, you said the Wi-Fi, but you click done and then it saves it and then you exit out. So you don't have to, it doesn't drop down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be out.
Yeah, so guys, you might find that as well. If you press done, it means it's saved, yeah.
All right, love it.
And then you just exit out of it, yeah.
Sweet. All right, next exercise is our cable seated row. We're going to be underhand grip, so you're going to need your cable stack. You might be on one with a bench and the feet plates. You might be on just the cable stack with something to put your feet up against, and then you need a straight bar. So we're going to pack up, get our dumbbells away, make our way over there. We'll see you there, ready to do some rows.
Let's go.
Yo. Okay, pretty good effort on those single, single, double shoulder press. You guys absolutely smashed it. My shoulders feel a bit pumped up and it wasn't even that heavy.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know. It feels good, feels good. I can't wait to see where they go in the next program. All right, we're at our cable machine. We've got our cable stack. You guys might be at a specific seated row machine. We've got our straight bar clipped on. Lana's got a pad for her bum but didn't get me one, so I'm just going to run and grab one. And what you're going to think about with this is an underhand grip. So our palms are going to be facing up when we grab that bar, which means that our elbows will come closer to our sides and let us squeeze the mid part of that back a little bit more, okay, between those shoulder blades and below. But because the arm path is low, the lats will help a lot, especially until the elbows pass our sides. So what we're going to do, click that bar on, make sure you're set up. If you need an extra second to set up, then pause us and do so. But if not, we're going to sit down and get ready to do our first set. Pop a weight that is going to be moderate to easy on there, and if you need to stop and change it again, pause us, change the weight, make it lighter, make it heavier, and we're going to do 3 sets of about 10 reps where we're going to build and find 5 reps in reserve on the last set of these today. Cool. Let's get it done.
Cool.
So take a seat, make sure your weight is on and ready to roll. Lana and I are going to work together, so we're all working at the same time. Your grip is going to be straight in front of the shoulders. Don't go too wide because we're going to try and brush those elbows close to the sides as we do our reps. From there, sit up, still have a slight bend in the knees so that we can arch our back. Because if we have straight legs, quite often because of the tight hamstrings, we're rounded over. So a little bend in the knee, push into those feet pads, arch the back, shoulders down, and then drive the elbows low, bending the arms and squeezing the shoulder blades tight behind us. Slowly extend back in and keep on doing these reps as I talk. Shoulders down, elbows low, squeeze the back, extend out. As you row back, think about where the elbows are going. Think about the shoulder blades coming together and then extending those arms out fully every single time. If you are bottoming out on the cable, make sure you step or shuffle a little bit further away. And we don't have to touch our stomach with that bar every time. It's all about how much we squeeze that back. Okay, one more. Shoulders down, elbows low, big squeeze, chest goes out. And then come back down, pop those down. And then we're going to fill out our phone or your piece of paper and plan what we're going to do next.
Boom. All right, so in the app, guys, I'm into my cable underhand seated row. So I'm going to pop in what weight I just did. If you're using the cable machine, it's probably pin loaded. It might be weight loaded in your gym with a plate. but have a little look at what weight you used, pop it in, however much you did, how many reps you got out, and how many more you think you could do. If you could do more than 5 reps, we're going to increase that weight, okay? So we're going to have a little build there, and then we're going to get ready to go for that next set, all right? So we'll change that weight up. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds, and we're going to go again. Yeah?
Cool. So I'm actually going to set a 2.5 minute timer for this next one, and we're going to work and do 10 reps, aiming for 5 reps in reserve-ish, or just a little bit more than that, and then increasing the difficulty for the last set. Alrighty, that time is coming on in 5 seconds, so take a seat, feet in the pads, grab that bar straight in front of the shoulders, elbows down, shoulders down, squeeze that back nice and tight, chest goes out, and then slowly control back in. Shoulders down, elbows low, squeeze the back.
Alright, we're on. Just make sure those shoulders don't get left behind, guys. We don't want them to dig forward at all, so just be really aware of them pulling back, squeezing together.
Cool, I'm at 6. If you're not counting, you can stay with me. Shoulders down, elbows low. Squeeze back as tight as you can. Lift that chest, think boobs to bar. And that is me done for my 10 reps. Oh, that was nice to get a little bit more weight on there. But I got a lot more to go.
All right, so same deal, guys. We're back into that tracking now. So grab your phone or your paper if you're using that. Popping in, again, how much weight you did, how many reps you did, and how many more you think you could do. So same deal, guys. Rinse and repeat here. Increase that weight if you could do more than 5 reps, right?
Exactly. So we want to find the 5 reps in reserve at the end of this set or the end of this exercise. So the next set, you've got 1 minute and 13 seconds until we're going to do it. So plenty of rest time. If you need a drink or anything, grab it now, have a breather, and we'll get back into it. Oh, what's your week looking like, Lance?
Lots on, lots on.
Bit on?
I'm going to Melbourne this week.
Melbourne, party girl?
Thursday. Do you remember that?
Kind of.
Now you do.
Now I do. Working on the weekend.
Jack's doing some extra shifts this week.
Ew.
I can do Thursday morning if you want.
Thursday morning. I don't think it makes a difference. I'm here anyway, getting it done. With the crew, the Continuum crew, that's our little gym here in Byron Bay, Australia. 4 people to 1 trainer. We just lift weights 3 days a week. People love it. They froth it.
Same as this, right? Same as what we're doing here.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to be part of our crew now, and we're getting back into it. So you've got 20 seconds. So we're going to approach that weight again, and make sure you think about chest towards the bar. Nice big arch at the back. Because if you round over with the back at all, you're not going to be able to get the squeeze of the shoulder blades we want. So shoulder blades down and back as you do this movement, okay? All right, grip that bar, feet in the pad, ready to rock and roll. 10 reps from here.
Let's do it. Last set, guys. Get it done. You're going to think about your breath. You can breathe in as you reach forward. Either hold your breath or breathe out as you pull and row back. It's nice to get a bit of rhythm with that breath.
Shoulders down. Squeeze tight.
Squeeze.
If you start to lose the form, you can rest. No shit reps.
Almost there. Keep going.
I'm done. That was me. My 10 in the bag. Probably push it a little bit too hard. I reckon I only had like 3 in the tank. So next week I'll probably just do like 8 or 9 reps.
Nice. All right, so we're going to track that final set and then plan what we are going to do next week, okay? So we're finished there, popping in what weight you just did, how many reps you did, how many more you could do as well. And then we're also going to track what we did, what we're going to do next week, okay? So when you're in that exercise, click on the name, cable seated row. It'll say add your own note here. From here, we're going to pop in whatever you just finished on, okay? So we're going to write the weight you finished on. That's going to be your first working set. Then from there, we're going to work backwards and do 2 warm-up sets next week, okay? So I just finished on 40 kilograms. So I'm going to do 20 kilos for my first warm-up next week. Then I'll jump up to 30 and then back to my working weight, 40 kgs.
As easy as that. How good is it when you rock up to the gym and you actually know what you're going to lift?
It's pretty good, hey? Not just picking up any random weight in front of you.
Yeah.
So remember when you press done there, it'll turn from bold to not bold, and then you just exit out. And we're good to go for our next exercise. Slide
Lana,
across.
one thing that I didn't know, and she's just like rubbing it in now. Just because Jack didn't know, make sure that you know. Alrighty, so next up we're going to go for our push-up bent over reverse fly combo. So find a space in the gym. You're going to need enough room to do a push-up. If you're doing an assisted push-up with the bar, get that set up on J-hooks, and you can see that in the assisted part at the end of the push-up video tutorial. And then for your bent over reverse fly, you're going to need some light weights, I would say between 1 and 4 kilo, 4 if you're feeling pretty jacked. But go towards the lighter end, and we will build up over these 2 sets today. So it's 1 and then 2 on the superset, and then we will know what we're going to lift for the week after. We'll see you at that space very shortly. Okay, we've got our space. Luckily in our gym, we don't have to move very far, and we've got everything we need right there. So if you have to wait for a piece of equipment, that's totally fine. Just pause us and then join us when you are ready to roll. So for this superset, we're working the front of the body and then the back of the body. I'm going to talk you through the push-up, and then Lana is going to talk you through the bent over reverse fly. How it's going to work for the rest of the program, we'll up it from 2 sets that we're doing today to 3 sets in the rest of the program. And it will go push-up, 10 to 20 seconds rest, into your bent over reverse fly, and then we'll have about a minute to a minute and a half is how it should work out to rest and fill out our tracking sheets, and then we'll go back to our
push-up.
Yep, that's it. So we'll just go cycle through that 3 times in the program, twice today. So for your push-up, guys, find your space on the floor. We're going to be building to 10 reps or as close to 10 as you can. If you're doing your assisted one, when you get to 10, you're going to take the J-hooks lower each time, and hopefully you'll be joining us on the floor in no time. On the floor, if you get to 10 good reps, you can make it harder by adding a plate or weight on the back, or adding a deficit, so you pop our hands up on plates, or by adding a tempo on the way down or a pulse at the bottom. There's loads of options. The pulse is probably the most horrible, and I would not recommend. Or you could do a pulse with a deficit, yuck. Okay, so for the push-up, guys, starting on the floor or on the bar, you're going to make sure you're up on your tiptoes, and we're going to have our hands just outside shoulder width. From here, we've got a nice long body, feet are narrow, and butt cheeks and abs are on. We're going to push our nose out, elbows at 45 degrees as we bend at the elbow joint, sticking the chest out to meet the floor. Tap that chest on the floor, and then push back up. Okay, control down, tap the chest, push back up. If it's too hard and you get stuck at the bottom, you can go down in full, pop the knees on, and come up like that. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to get as close to 10 as we can. Making sure that at the bottom, the shoulders don't round over, okay? So we don't want to see you tuck up and over. And with our hands, we should have a nice big triangle. So hand, and then our nose is going to make the tip of that triangle on every single one. Okay, try for one more. If you stopped a while ago, that's totally fine. You got a little bit of extra rest out of us. If you are quick, you can look at your phone and go bang, bang, pop it in, how many reps you did. There is an option for weight in there, but you can just add 0 to it if you didn't have anything loaded. And then Lana will take you straight into the next one.
Nice. So hopefully you've got your light dumbbells there ready to go, guys. So we're going to grab those, and we're up on our feet now, okay? So we're going to take our feet around hip width apart. We've got a soft bend in our knees. Then we're going to hinge, okay? So we're going to push our hips to the back and search for a little stretch in our hamstrings. Now, in this position, we're bent over, but we want to maintain a nice flat back, all right? Hands are going to come underneath our shoulders, and palms will face forward. From this position, guys,
palms will face each other.
What did I say?
Forwards.
Forward. Palms towards each other. My palms are towards each other right now. All right, sorry guys. From here at that position, if you need to stand up, reset, go again. We're going to scrape those knuckles out nice and wide. We're hitting a big T position at the top, and we're thinking about squeezing through our shoulder blades, okay? So we're opening up, bringing hands out in line with shoulders, scraping those knuckles, controlling back to that starting position with hands underneath shoulders. There should be no bouncing in this movement. It's nice and strict. Scrape and squeeze. Once you get your 10 out, stand up, shake it off.
Shake it off, shake it off.
Ooh, ooh, and we will track this now.
Sweet. So we've got about 90 seconds on that timer. I'm just going to flick it on, and we will start when that finishes. So Tracking that on the app, it comes up as your push-up and then your bent over reverse fly, and then you scroll down and go through as many supersets as there is. All right, so make sure you fill out there your weight you lifted, how many you did, and how many more you think you could do on both of those exercises. That's why I do like to take like 10-20 seconds to fill the push-up out if you can be quick, because sometimes I forget what I could do when I'm struggling for my reverse fly, okay? We are only doing one more set of these just because we've done a lot today already for a first session. So if you need to change the weight to make it a bit heavier or make the push-ups harder, if you smash 10, you're an absolute boss, then that's fine. And also feel free to pause us if you need another set of push-ups to find your 5 reps in reserve because you're doing them on the bar and you just need to keep on moving it lower. That's totally fine as well at the end. All right, our time is just about to tick over. For some reason, I've turned the noise off, but okay, it's ticked over. We're gonna go for our push-ups, okay? So up in that full push-up position or whichever variation you are doing, tuck hips under, push chest out towards the floor, nose taps or foot or chest taps. And then going into that next one. Control the descent every single time. Good, make sure we control, press hard, don't round the shoulders over at the bottom. Finishing that nice, strong position with the body where the hips don't sag.
Whew.
Cool.
Good. You really feel your core and nose as well, right?
Yeah, I know. It's just chest and triceps really, but the core works so we don't sag those hips. Because that's if you do get low back pain in it, it's probably from that. And because we're going straight over into this bent over position for the reverse fly, that's where you might feel the back. So fill the tank where you fill your stomach with air as you brace for this bent over reverse fly. Let's get into it with Lana.
All right, so setting up again, guys, we've got those dumbbells. Last time, if it was too easy, make sure you do go up, all right? Soft bend in knees, we're pushing those hips back, we're bowing forward, nice neutral spine, palms face towards each other, and we are scraping and squeezing, hitting that T position at the top, squeezing through the shoulder blades, controlling back down. When you come back down to that bottom position, hands only go underneath shoulders. Don't bring them all the way in together, all right? It's gonna make it that little bit harder and get rid of any momentum.
Oh, I'm done. 10,
Last
smashed
one for
out.
me.
You look good. Your back looks real good. Smashed it. With those guys, it's good to have nice long arms, but some people cannot do them without a little bend. Just try and keep the bend consistent, okay? Because if you bend it a lot, you're probably gonna get your rear delts more, and it's probably going to get a bit easier because the weights aren't as far away from the body, okay? So let's go in, track that second set with Lana, whilst I put my weights away.
Yeah, they're done now, so we can pop our weights away, hey?
Yep. Don't be that guy in the gym that leaves them out.
No, all right. So I'm going to pop in what I did for my push-ups there, and then what I did for my bent over row as well in my tracking app or on your sheet. So let's quickly do that. Reps. How many more reps you think you could do. If you're on the bent over reverse fly, you'll pop in your weight there as well. So once we have finished that, we are going to plan next week. So push-ups, guys, click on the word push-up, add your own note. If you are on the J-hooks with a bar, you may lower it for next week, okay? If you found it too easy on that last set. If you're on the floor, try and get those reps out more so on your toes if you had to drop to your knees.
Yeah, and with those push-ups, if you have done 10 good reps in full, we're gonna make it harder, okay? So choose a way when you fill that out that you're gonna make it more challenging. So you can add that deficit, you can add a plate on your back, and just write in which one you wanna do for next week.
Then from there we go back to our dumbbell reverse fly. So we're gonna exit out, click on the word that says dumbbell bent over reverse fly, and same deal. Look, you might have found that weight you were using already hard enough. So if you want to stay on it next week for your first set, you can try that. Otherwise, you can go up and always drop down if need be. All right. Boom. We will head over to the cable machine now. You're going to need some dumbbells as well because we also have a bicep curl paired with our cable kickback for our final superset.
You're going to need your ankle straps for the cable kickbacks. You're going to strap them on. If you don't know what they look like, have a little look at the video for that next exercise before you go, okay? And then we'll meet you over at the cable stack to get a little upper or lower pump.
Let's go. All right, into our cable kickback and bicep curl combo. Now for our cable kickback, guys, we are going to need the little attachment that is an ankle strap. We have the Velcro facing outwards, we loop it through, we strap it on, and then we've got a ring that is going to attach to our cable machine. So if you don't have one of these in the gym, guys, have a look around, maybe ask, or even buy some online for next week.
Yeah. And the amount of people that in our gym walk home with these on.
Yeah, I know. People probably
Forget
have done
that
that
they're
at
on.
the gym.
Yeah, just forget they're on. So don't forget that they're on when you do it, okay? So you need your dumbbells.
So we're going for 2 sets again here for this superset. We're going to try and get 8 to 10 reps out on each leg for our cable kickback, and then we'll have that 10 to 20 second, 30-second rest before going to our bicep curls, where we're trying to get a good 10 reps out, all right? So let's get into our cable kickback. Setting up, we're going to come up to the cable, we're going to get the little carabiner, and we're going to clip it onto our weakest leg, all right? We're going to start off with that weaker side. Majority of people, I would say, would be that left side. Make sure you're in a nice light weight here to start off, guys. So we want to get the form first, and these are deceivingly hard, our cable kickbacks, all right? So setting up, we're going to step away from the cable, so we're about an arm's length away. Then we're going to hold on and slightly lean forward. I like to line my supporting leg up with the cable, okay, so with that rig. From here, we're going to lift the working leg off, and we're going to bring it towards the cable, okay? So slightly forward of our supporting toe. We're going to lock out both knees here, so we're nice and locked on and we're hinged forward, bracing through the core. Your front foot is turned out, and we're scraping back, keeping the lean forward, and we're just squeezing the glute at that end range, okay? We don't want to let that cable bottom out as we come through, so make sure you maintain tension throughout your reps. Scrape and squeeze, control the release. Everything is locked on. The only thing moving is that hip joint. Scrape and squeeze. All right, we're swapping over sides. Now, guys, if you feel it in the supporting leg as well, normal, okay? We would expect to feel that supporting glute working a little bit. So swapping over sides, that can be the hardest thing, changing over those cables.
Yeah, the clips, yeah, especially if they're just off the floor like ours. Okay, onto that second leg. The thing that I find really important with this, like Lana's like that good distance away, I like to lean over into my hinge. So before I even start, I get a bit of a stretch in the bum. So hinge over, you're going to let that foot come forward a tiny bit, angle the toe out, and then kick back and get that glute on. I am just holding on with one hand on the side that I am working, okay? The other one is just wherever feels comfortable. I'm going to kick back, get my glute on, stretch forwards without rounding the back, kick back, glute gets tight, stretch at the front, and that is my 8 right
nice.
There.
All right, I'm going to quickly pop that into my tracking notes here. How much weight I did, how many reps I did 8 each side as well. I still had a bit of gas in the tank there. It was nice and light, but I was just focusing on that form. I'm going to go up next set. But we're straight into our dumbbell bicep curls now, Jack. Talk us through it.
Cool. Stand tall, dumbbells in hand, head to the roof, shoulders set. We're going to go with our palms facing forwards and then just squeeze the biceps to move the forearm up and down. We bend the arm and straighten all the way down to the starting position again. With every rep, make sure that we keep the shoulders set, and at the top, don't bring the elbows forwards under the hands, okay? We don't want to rest on those biceps. You want tension throughout the whole set. Okay, no half reps here. Even if you picked up a weight that's a little bit challenging, biceps recover pretty quickly in this isolation movement, and an isolation is a movement that just uses one joint, okay? This is my last one. We're going for 10, if I didn't say that already. And then pop those down, fill out your sheet, and we're just gonna have a short rest between these today because muscles that recover quickly, upper, lower, we shouldn't need too much between the two. So fill out your app, weight lifted, how many reps you did, how many more you think you could do.
Nice. All right, let's get back into those cable kickbacks, all right? So straight back to that weaker side to kick things off, cable kickback to kick things off.
Oh, God.
Guys, remember you can always have a look at the in-depth video tutorial if you are struggling to get that visual, okay? Or you can have a little look at the video
Yeah, on your app, on your Spotify, YouTube, or Apple. I don't know if Apple has it, but Spotify and YouTube, you'll be able to see us working out now with you guys. Okay, weaker side goes, foot is angled out, bum is back, we're hinged over. From there, stretch forwards with that foot, toe turned out, kick back, get the glute tight. Both legs are nice and long, control in, kick back. Our back is in a neutral position the whole time. We do not round the back at the front or arch it more at the back. If you get any back pain, it's probably because you are doing that. Focus on that glute squeeze at the end, work within your range of motion. And that is 8, swapping sides, nice smooth changeover. I use my shoulder to lean onto the cable machine just for some balance. I unclip, swap legs, and get to that second side.
All right, we're onto that second side, guys. We've got that turned out foot. We're scraping back on that slight angle, squeeze through the glute at the top. Really focus on that glute working. Don't overdo your range either, okay? Less is more. Think about the squeeze. We don't want any arching by trying to get the foot too high.
Smashed it. All right, fill out that phone as soon as you are done. Okay, it's going to be real quick. Just flick it over. Set 2. We're going to go for superset 2, it should say above it. You're going to go into your weight lifted. How many you did, how many more you could do. Straight, pick those dumbbells up, stand tall. Palms face forwards.
Curl
squeeze.
time.
Girls get the girls. Guys get the guys. Okay, only moving the forearm. All right, elbow doesn't pop forwards, shoulders are set, no swing of the body.
You can find a mirror in your gym to check yourself out while you're doing these ones.
If your name's Lana. You probably look great doing them anyway. All right, this is my last. Big squeeze, control down, and pop those away really quick if you're close to it. If not, we'll fill out our tracking sheet and we'll go back to it. So into the app there, you're going to fill out your last exercise of the day. Weight lifted, how many reps you did, how many more you could do. And then we're going to go through and plan for next week. So are you going to kick off with the cable kick back? Oh God, don't say it. And look at the weight you lifted this week and you'll know whether you can do more or less, okay? If it was less than 5 reps in reserve, stick at that weight for next week. If it was more than 5 reps in reserve, you're going to go up. No warm-up set on this one for next week at all, so we're just going to dive straight into it. So right in the weight that you're going to do, you don't even need to do anything with it, just the weight is good. And then for the same with the bicep curls. If you have like 3 or more in the tank with that, I would just go a kilo heavier. Push yourself because you will get stronger with those. And even if towards the end of the program you're just trying to get 1 extra rep out, that is totally fine as well. All right,
That's it. That's day 1 done.
Day 1 in the baggie. All right, you guys absolutely smashed it. It was an absolute pleasure to be here with you. Look.
Good work, guys.
If some of that was a bit sketchy, we promise we're going to get better.
First time for us, first time for you, but look, today's not about being perfect. It's just about learning, trying to build on that form, take things in. It's a learning process, so we're going to build from here though. We're going to get better. That's the goal.
That's why we follow a program. 6-week program, nail the form at the start, build every week, increase by weight or reps. At the end of 6 weeks, you're going to feel a lot more confident in these exercises. Your body will be used to them, and then we'll change them on you. And then we'll get a new program, okay? And we'll do the same thing. We'll start off, learn the form, and build. It's a process. That's why our gym is called Continuum, because it's continuous, all right? And it is really from here. Now you're part of it. You're in the continuum, all right? You know us, you know about us. You're going to train with us.
We're going to train together.
It was a pleasure to train together, and we'll see you for
next week.
2.
Week 2.
If you want to get 2 more workouts this week, they won't be in your ears, but you can access them in the Train Together app. Okay, there's 3 workouts a week in there, exactly the same setup and layout as you just did with us today, but you'll do it by yourself, but you are accompanied by in-depth video tutorials for every single exercise in there.
Yeah.
Look.
Everything you need.
Yeah, 3 sessions a week.
Everything you need to get done is there.
Yeah. Full body weight training 3 sessions a week is what you need to hit the frequency on your muscles so you can get some good gains, feel good, look better, do more of what you love, and get strong for life.
Let's go.
Choo!